Hello everyone, I welcome you all programming using Python MCA third semester course. So in the last session we were discussed about the built-in functions which is available in Python, and we have discussed with help, that is how the documentation with respect to particular functions will be given, and after that we have discussed with round built-in functions. It going to round off to the nearest integer value with respect to one argument how it works, with respect to two argument how it works, and after that we have discussed with the power built-in function, that is pow, and it will takes three arguments. With the two arguments it will performs the power operations. When we are passing a three arguments, three arguments, then it is going to perform a modulus operation also with the power operations. And after that we have discussed with how to go for a text or how to use a text strings in a Python. In Python we have discussed how to assign a value, how to create a variable for a strings, and how to print a string, means how to use a variable in a string. After that we have discussed about the built-in function len with respect to the string, and also we have discussed the operator plus and multiplication, and also we have discussed how to convert a string value to a integer and the floating point built-in function, and also we have discussed with a special character, that is escape character, that is slash single quote slash double quotes, and also others. In today's sessions we are going to study about how to create a multi-line strings. So if you are creating a string using a single quote or a double quote, the whole string it is not going to fit into a single line. Okay. For example, when we are trying to stretch a strings across multiple lines, we will get a syntax error. It's saying that end of L. Okay. Just give you the example. See, I wanted to continue in a next line. So when I press enter or a return key, I will get a error as file std in line 1. So here I will get a error message. It is syntax error. Syntax error, end of line while scanning literal. Literal means it can be any value with respect to a string. So string literal. Okay. So I will get error messages like this when we are going for a multi-line statement or a multi-line string. So I have opened a close. So when I press enter, so it says end of line. So because we are not closed with the quotes. Okay. So for this we have a solutions, or we can use three consecutive double lines or a double quote or a single quote, or okay. To span multiple lines, put a three single quote or a three double quotes. For example, so here I am using single quote 1. So when I press enter, it will move to the three dots. So it means that it is in middle of execution. So we have discussed in the last when we are come across with the values or with respect to the numbers. So in that we have used a parenthesis and line continuation character. With this strings we having a triple quotes. Either it can be a single triple quote or it can be a double quotes. So like that I am going to type it 2. So once again I am pressing enter, then I am writing 3. I am entering it, then I can write 4. Okay. So just I'll stop it here, so that in that I need to close the triple quotes. Okay, I need to close the triple quotes. So when I finish off this execution of this statement, I will get a answer as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how I will get a answer in a single quote. So the output will be displayed in a single quote. So you are notice that Python strings will create a /n sequence. So whenever our input started with a new line, so this will be displayed because we have entered it in a and we have pressed the enter. So it will gives the output as, it starts with new line, it starts with new line. So this is what the escape sequence in a strings. Okay. So here the /n, it not going to print its value, but it will be displayed when you are executing like this. So this is what the multi-line string. So let me give with respect to your double quotes. One. So here I am using combination of 1. Okay. 2. To differentiate between this and this, I am using a first one it is a capital letter. 3, 4. So next 5. So here I am ending the 2 triple quotes. So after executing this, I will get the answer as, or the output is in a single quote, 1 new line, 2 new line, 3 new line, 4 new line, 5 closing quotes. Okay, this is how we will get a output when we need to span a string in a multiple lines. Either we need to use continuous single quote or we need to use continuous double quotes. So when you are typing or when you are going for writing a story, so then that time it will be used. Okay. The next topic it is print. Or a print information. How the strings will be printed on your screen. How the content will be printed on your screen. So in Python we have a built-in function print. Okay. We have a built-in function print. Okay. Observe that it should be the lowercase letter. By practice I have written it as print. Okay. It should be a lowercase p, not uppercase p. Okay. So we have a built-in function print. It is used to print values to the screen. I am repeating. We have a built-in function. Okay, print, which is used to print a value on the screen. Okay, we can use this print function, print a message in our program also. Okay, those messages may be include the in print function. Either we can include the messages, or we may pass values, or we may pass a expression. When we are passing expressions, it will going to produce the result of that expressions, okay, and the values that that maybe refers to the variable also, okay. Let me give an example for those thing. So here lowercase p print, here I am passing values, okay. So 25 plus 67 and I will get the output as 92. You know how to evaluate the function, right? So the first argument will be evaluated from left to right. So with respect to this, so this is the expression. So you need to know that it is 25 plus 65. If it is we have combination of operator, then operator precedence will be taken place for executing the statements which is present in a between a parenthesis, okay. So this is with respect to value, and here we are the expression is value and it is will be calculating and it will print a result. I am using a string, okay. One is strong, okay, one is strong, the other is weak, okay. One is strong and other is weak. So here I am using two double quotes, okay. Assume that, see, one is strong and other is weak. So this is what the string for operation or the whatever the values which is in there that will be displayed, because nothing is to be get executed or evaluated. It is just a string. So it will be displayed on your output screen. So the output of this is 1 is strong, full stop, the other is weak, okay. See, when we are executing the same statement in a string, so there will be a quote, there will be a single quote between starting and ending. So when we are executing with respect to the print functions, it is going to omit the single quotes. How whatever the representation is present in a print function argument, that will be displayed on your output screen. So this function, it does not going to allow any styling of the output, like color coding, or some part of should be in black, some text in bold and some text in italic. These things are not possible with respect to the print. It just print a plain text, how you are represented in a parenthesis, okay. So let me give one more example. Print, that's good idea. So here I have used it, that's good idea, okay. In the last class, when we are putting this special character, we have performed so many things, right. We have used plus operator and we have used escape sequence and all. For this, while printing like this, it will automatically take the as it is. So that is apostrophe s, that's good idea, okay. Understood? Okay. Let us consider with one more the escape sequence. Other escape sequence we have learnt in last class, but we have not used it. Print. So single quote 1, So I'm using escape sequence slash T, that is tab. Next I'm writing 2, okay. Next escape sequence slash N, then after that I'm writing 3. So escape sequence slash T, so after that 4, okay. So I'm just closing this print function. So when this statement get executed, okay, when this statement get executed, I will get the output as 1. So after 1, what is the value or what is the function? That is slash T. So this will be performed 2. Next, the next value is the slash N, and that, so it will take a new line and it will going to print a 3. Next it is a slash T, so it takes a 1 tab, then it will going to print a 4. So this is how we will get a output. In the last example, so when we are executing with a string, so it will display as it is. So when we are running with a print, it going to evaluate with a value, okay. Python will going to print the value of the escape sequence in the strings, okay, with respect to the backslash representation, okay. So here we are not going to execute or not going to print the values of the slash n and slash t, but when we are considering with the print statement, it gives the values of the escape sequences, okay. Understood? So, so when you are writing this on your ideal, so there will be a color code for representing the print, okay. So if you are using shell, it won't display any color code, because sometimes if you are a beginner, you will write P as a capital P, and you will simply write print and print hello, so that it will get a error, okay. So you know, then error message should be, so there will be a message syntax error or it not identical, so it will shows like this. So print is not be executed, it's not a function anta. So that you need to use a lowercase p, okay. If you are using a ideal, then it will be the print, if it is a statement is correct, the color of the print will be get changed. The color of the print will be get changed. Let me consider a multi-line input or multi-line strings, okay. Numbers equal to, okay. So I am starting here multi-line strings 1, okay, 1, then it will continue with a 2. So once again I am continuing, I am entering it 3, okay, 4. So after this I am ending the triple quotes. Here I am using single triple quotes, okay. So when I going to execute this, numbers, okay. So this will print like this, 1 slash new, 2 slash n, 3 slash n, 4, right. So in the last example also we have seen same thing, right. So if you are using print, numbers, print numbers. So same variable I am using with respect to the print function, the output of this will be like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Then let me give one more example with respect to the numbers. or the values. Print 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here I am going to print the numbers or the values 1, 2, 3. So output of this is 1, 2, 3. Okay. In print, it takes a comma as a separator between a list. Okay. When we are passing a too many arguments, the comma is the separator between the list. Okay. To print, and when we are going to print the values with a, it gives a single space between each value. Okay. When the expressions get ended, so it gives a new line to the last value. I am repeating. So when we are executing with the value, okay, like this, so the comma is a separator between the list of values to print. Okay. While you are printing, the print will take a one space between the one value to another value, and when the last value will get printed, it will give a new line. So when this statement get executed, it will be displayed like this. Okay. So if I go for only print, if I use only the print like this, okay. If I execute this, it going to end the current line in advance to the next one. So it will be like this. So there is a one line gap between the this statement to this statement. Okay. So the print function will can print any kinds of value of type any type. So it going to print a value of any type in a single function or in a single call. Let me give a example. Print integer string floating point value. So when this statement get executed, I will get a output as 1. So then space 2. So 1 space 3, then space value, and it's come to the new line. So this is how it will going to print. Okay. So it is possible to call a print function with an expression, or it can be an argument to the print function. It will print the value of that expression. Okay. Let me calculate it. So let me give you the example. So radius variable I have assigned. I have assigned a variable radius with a value 5. Print. So here I am calculating the diameter of the circle. The diameter of the circle is, okay. So this is what the value, and in that I am calculating the expression. So I am going to write the expression now. So because of the space I am writing or continuing in here itself, okay. So it is a single line. So radius, so formula for diameter of circle, that is radius multiplied by 2, okay. So after this I am using in terms of centimeter, okay. So the value should be in the form of centimeter, so that I am given it as cm, okay. So when this statement is get executed, so I will get answer as, our output is the diameter of the circle is, so here the value will be get calculated, okay. Radius value it is 5 multiplied by 2, we will get a 10 as a answer. So the expression is get evaluated here, and we will get, and this will be next come to the end, okay. So the diameter of the circle is 10 centimeter, okay. Next, go for the help of this or the document of the print function. Help print. Help print. The first line it is help on built-in function print in module built-in. So the first line tells that in which function, what is the function description and which module it belongs to. The print function it is belongs to the built-in function. Next is the actual syntax of the print. So I am only writing the syntax of the print. I am not going to write all the things. Print function, okay. The syntax it is print value, okay, whatever we are going to pass those values with separated by commas. After that, okay, so I will continue in the here itself. File system.std out flush equal to false, okay. So this is what the syntax of the print. So it contains value, then SCP, then end. Usually I write it like this, so end, okay, file system.std out, then flush equal to false, okay. So value means it nothing but it is a stream of data which is be passed to the print function to be displayed, okay, or it can be a system.std out by default. So here we have a keyword arguments. So the sep, end, file and flush, these are the keyword arguments, okay. Let's consider the first, it is file, okay. A file is like in a its object streams, it's default to the current system, that is it going to display to the either by default it is a standard output, that is on to monitor you can change to the file, okay. That is what it means. The output of this function can be displayed by default on a screen, either you can specify for the file also, okay. Then SCP stands for separator. So by default it going to separate a value, one value to another value, it is a space. So that's what it is, space. By default it gives a space, okay. Then end. So when the string is ended, it going to append a new line to the last value. So by default end it is a /n. So the flush it's to forcibly flush the string. So for this subject or for this you should leave this file and flush. Just consider the separation or the separator between the values and the end. How we can use the end functions, okay. Let us use keyword arguments. Keyword word arguments. Okay. Print A, B, C. So this is what the normal, okay. So normally we write it like this. So when we write it like this, we will get the output as A, B, C. So let's use keyword arguments. Print A, B, C. Okay. Let us use separator. SEP equal to, in a quotes I am using at symbol. You can use any symbols. Okay. To differentiate it between, to understanding purpose I am using at symbol. You can use hash, any kind of symbol to separate between one value to the another value. So I am closing it. Then output of this is A at B at C. This is how we will get. So with respect to this line, we will get a space as a separator between one value to the other value. So with respect to this expressions, we are getting a separator as at symbol. Okay. Let us consider keyword argument of end. So print A, B, C. So I am here separator, I am using it as hash. Okay. Hash is a separator and I am using a end function. So when the stream or the strings ends, the last value should be the null. So I am just open and closing the single quotes. I am not passing anything. So that the output of this will be, okay, A hash, B hash, C. So like this you will get a output, because when the end of the statements comes, we have ended with a null character, so that the automatically it will come, the prompt will come immediate to the last value C. Okay. I think understood. So this is what the built-in function print. Okay. So this is one-way communication, right? So we are simply taking by default value from the keyboard and printing on it. But we need to take a input from the keyboard dynamically, right? So that for we have a built-in function called input. So built-in function called input. So it's going to take a value from a keyboard, or which is going to read a single line of text from the keyboard. Okay, I am repeating it, which going to reads the single line of text from the keyboard, and it going to returns whatever the user enter has a string, even it look like a number. I am repeating it. So it's going to read a single line of text from the keyboard and returns whatever the user enter has a string, even if it is like or if it is looks like a number. Okay. So the first hash symbol represent it is a comment. So get input from user. Okay. Get input from the user. Then here I am assigning a variable called input string. Okay. I am assigning a keyboard value to a variable called input string. Okay. Input. So after or when this statement get executing, your cursor will be pointing here and it is waiting for the input from the keyboard. It's waiting for the input from the keyboard till you press anything, it will be on the same positions. Okay, you need to understand, you need to give an input for this statement. So that I am writing here, it is Python is it is interesting. Yes, Python is interesting. Let us print the output of this input string. Print using double quotes the inputted string is input string. Okay, input string, close a parenthesis, then you will get the output as the inputted string is Python is interesting. So Python is interesting. So this is how you will get a output. So let's go for how the documentation of this help will be represented. Help input. So as usual, the first line will be the help on built-in function input and module, it's of type built-in. And the syntax of this input function, it is input prompt equal to none. So prompt equal to none. This is so, okay. The function is going to read a string from the standard input, and the trailing with respect to the new line, it is stripped. Okay, so ನೀವು ಏನು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಲಾಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನ್ಯೂ ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು that should be get printed on a output screen. Okay, for example, ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಕರ್ಸರ್ ಬ್ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೇ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ನ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಗೆ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಮೆಸೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಡ್. ಈ ಥರ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಟಲ್ಲಿ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಯೂಸರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೈಲ್, ಐದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಡಿ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಥರ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಸಿಚುವೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಒಮೈಟ್ ಎನಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. Okay, I'm repeating it. The input function prompt. Sorry, T miss madide. So when the input function it is prompt, if we are not passing any value with respect to the prompt, it takes it's going to read the string from it, and it's going to strip the new line character. When the prompt string it is set, the printed on your output screen, that is whatever the prompt value will be on the prompt, that will be displayed on the standard output devices, and it going to trailing out, the new line will be read out. Okay, so that will be read it out to the things. And if the user it is hits any end of file function, it is end of file, then either it may be a control Z or control Z plus return or control D. So that will vary from operating system to operating system. That time it is not going to be available. Okay, let me give the example with respect to the input prompt. So with respect to this, I am just changing it so that it will ask enter a string. So this is how we called as a prompt. When this statement get executed, so I will get the answer as output as enter a string. So it's waiting for the input from the keyboard. So then I will write Python is interesting. Python it is interesting. So we can same thing with respect to the print function. Print the inputted string is input string. So after executing this statement, you will get output as the inputted string is Python is interesting. Okay, this is how you will get a output with respect to the input functions. Okay, this is with respect to the string functions, right? So now I need to go with some other examples. So I need to read a marks. Okay, I need to take a input for the variable called marks. So that I am writing a statement that is marks input. Marks input. So when this time I will just enter it as a 85. So let us display on the screen marks. So it will be displayed like this. Okay. So whatever the value which is it is of type integer. So it is look like a integer value, but it is of type strings. So how to know the type of the value? So for that we have a built-in functions called type. So we have a built-in function called type. This will going to tell the what kind of object it is. Okay. So with respect to this, I am executing this type function. So type marks. So after executing this, it will going to show that class it's of type str, that is string. So in Python everything is in terms of object oriented, so that it's going to tell that class it's of type string. Okay. So try to convert this string function to the integer form, so that we have a typecasting or a type conversion, that is int. So let's do that one. So assume that this 85 it is code for the subject maths. So maths mark equal to the conversion to a integer value, built-in function int it is used, and the variable that is marks is contained, it's in the form of string, which is look like a integer value. So that will be passed, that is marks. So when this statement get executed, okay, the marks value will be get converted to the integer type. So let me check the first display the content of the maths mark. So when I get executed this, I will get a value as 85. So let me check the type. Type maths underscore mark. So excuse me, after this class int. Okay, so this is how the type will be used. So the type will going to tell the what type of data types or it belongs to the particular value or variables. Got it? So with respect to this, the marks is in the form of string format, and we are get converted to the integer format, and then we are checking it is of type int. Okay. So with this I am going to end. So before that, let me conclude. So in today's sessions we have seen how to go for multi-line strings that will be used with a single quotes or a double quotes, that will be of 3 continuous single quote or a double quotes. So after that we have come across with the print functions, built-in print functions, which is going to print values or strings on your standard output, that is on your monitor or a screen. And in that, how to evaluate and how the expressions will be get evaluated in a Python in a print functions. And after that we have discussed with the how to take a input from the keyboard using a built-in function called input. Okay, with this I am going to end today's session. Thank you.